Hello? 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 Um, ma'am, is your what? Just 1 second. Let me just check something. Okay. One, two.
Can you hear me?
Uh, yes, ma'am. Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can. Finally, I can hear you. Okay.
Okay.
Right. So let's just start the session. Right. Um, okay. So, all right, ma'am. I'm starting the session. Right.
Mhm.
Um, Welcome everyone for today's webinar, which is on revision tips and exam tips. As we all know, board exams are near the corner, right? And I'm sure all of you must be panicking and and on to your revisions by now, right? So here we are going to have some expert tips on how to revise the last moment tips and how to do your exam preparation in these last few days. So we have on board Ms. Toolika Krishna, who's an expert mentor. She'll make you go through all these tips. So just, probably these will help you this year in the boards, right? Ma'am, over to you.
Good afternoon, students. I know this is a very stressful time for you, and I am going to be as short and as brief about the tips. The things, the tools you need to now succeed in your board exams. So, first of all, we have to realize now that time is of the biggest importance currently because you have very short time before your board exams. If time is king and and effective timetable is key to a kingly success. This is what I need to tell you. So at times, you students start revising without making a timetable of what to revise and how much time to take to revise that. A lot of time in the last few days is wasted because you're not doing it in a disciplined manner. You need to first make a timetable. Okay, this is what is left. How many days? Okay, 1st of or 2nd of March, your exams are going to start. And today is the 16th. Now, 16th means you have barely 15 days or 14, 15 days left. Now, in that 15 days, you need to first assess where do you stand? What are your difficult issues? What are the difficult subjects that you have? Now, those subjects and those chapters you set aside. Always make a timetable. Once you've set the timetable, then you focus accordingly. Okay?
Right.
So don't forget that you need for the first paper you need to leave at least 2 to 3 days just for the first paper revision. So the rest then you can divide equally among the subjects that you need. Then a lot of students take notes and then again more notes in different notebooks. Now is not the time to make those notes. You need to now make summary notes. Take out a pad of paper next to you and start noting down all your formulas if you're doing mathematics or physics or chemistry and your equations or whatever you are doing accordingly. After that, you put them all together. Just because 2 or 3 days before the exams, you shouldn't be opening your books to read those things. You should have them on your fingertips in front of you and you just revise them. Okay. Third thing is that
Ma'am,
it's
ma'am,
like,
ma'am, your
yes,
voice
go
is,
ahead.
yeah, your voice is breaking. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
now is it clear?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, better.
Okay, your school friends would be as stressed out as you are. So you need to make each other more comfortable. Group revision sometimes really help. If you question each other, okay, you have a tough issue on, a tough time in one subject, you can always go to a friend who is very good at that subject and sit down for an hour or hour and a half and have a group discussion because group revision actually helps each other to remember and you remember it much better. It is basically breaking the monotony also. The fourth thing, managing stress. Take breaks, have enough sleep. At times, students forget to take breaks and eventually end up in revising for longer stretches of time. Eventually, it will lead to fatigue, and the next day of revision gets impacted, thereby leading to stress of not meeting the revision completion. So, we need to have enough sleep. Now, enough sleep means 7 hours of sleep. That's it. All students need 7 hours of sleep because that is the time where the brain is recouping from the stress of studying. And in between also, you have to give a break between studying. Now, after every hour, if you take a 10-minute break, and a break of 10 minutes means 10 minutes, not more than 10 minutes, because then you get distracted. So you need to
Discipline.
study 1 hour, then 10-minute break, have a green tea because it leads to improvement in memory, maybe have a chocolate or something. That is what will help you, to recoup your energy and then again you can sit back and study. Okay, and please sit in a quiet room away from the distraction. All electronic media should be put away. No cell phones. Cell phones should be switched off when you're studying for that 1 hour. When you switch on your phone for the 10 minutes that break you are taking, you can always connect with your friend and ask, okay, these are my problems. Can you help me out? Or can we sit for a group revision? So accordingly, you can do that. And you have to believe in yourself. First of all, you have to be positive minded and you have to believe in yourself that you will do well. Because a negative thought process will not help you. In fact, you become worse and your nervousness becomes worse and you are unable to learn and perform well. So, for effective learning techniques, one thing that is there is discipline. Second is make a timetable. Third is get adequate rest, eat properly, and give adequate breaks in your studies. Now, break means a break. It doesn't mean like for hours you sit and watch a television serial. No television serials, no movies, nothing for time being, till your exams. Third, now we come to how many topics should I revise in a day? Now,
Right.
you should see how many topics there are in the entire syllabus of a subject. Divide that by the number of days you wish to revise, you have, not you wish, you have to revise the entire syllabus. The result is the number of topics you need to revise every day. Now, there are certain topics you must be very sure of already, you must have done it well, and those are the easier topics. You can leave them aside for the last day just to look it over. Then, uh, at the time of the exams, there are some very important, tips I need to give you. First of all, one day before the exam, never sleep late. Always sleep on time, a decent time where you can get 7 hours of sleep so that your brain is fresh and ready to really perform. You should be positive minded. You should eat properly, not overeat, not undereat. Positive attitude is the key to solve many of the problems you're going to face in your life and currently crack your exam. Okay? Plan well before you go. You must have your pens, your erasers, everything that you need, all your paperwork, all your identity cards already set in place. You should not be feeling that tomorrow at the time of your exams, your pen, your ink finishes, you're borrowing, you become panicked. No, that will not help at all. So time before the exam, one night before, you must keep everything ready. Do not try to cram up everything. Okay. Now, whatever has been done has been done. You have these 15 days to do your revision. During this time, when you are revising, leave out the easier topics, do the tougher topics, which you understand the exam planning. There are certain chapters which are assigned more marks. Those are the
Right.
chapters you need to now concentrate on. Okay, there are certain chapters which are given more weightage. Those are the chapters you need to now concentrate on so that you can score well in those chapters. The easier chapters where the weightage is less, the marks weightage is less, you I hope you have already done that, completed that, and kept that aside. You do not need to go back to them again and again. Okay?
And
So
ma'am, I think,
accordingly, yeah, go ahead.
even mock test, I think this is a very good time, right, to give as many mock tests as possible,
Yes, yes.
right? This is
And
the
all
perfect
the
time, I guess.
absolutely. When you're studying, every day try to give at least one mock test. And the more you practice, the better you're going to be because the speed will improve. You will not,
Absolutely.
your speed will be adequate so that you can complete the whole test paper, your exam paper. To complete the test paper, you need to practice. And maths, if specifically you have, that is only practice, practice, practice. Anybody who has maths has to practice because most of the people, they fail to complete their papers. That's the biggest problem. If you're completing your paper, that is extremely important. Okay, so currently you need every day try and do at least one mock paper of one subject, and do it well because you are going to be spending something like 2.5 to 3 hours on a proper mock paper. So the rest of the time you're going to be studying or revising your other subjects. So you can plan it accordingly. Okay, if I have commerce, then today I'm going to do mathematics mock test. Tomorrow I'm going to do accounts. Third day I'm going to do my economics. Fourth day I'm going to do my business studies. And you keep on repeating it. Every day, if you keep on doing one paper, by the end of the day, when your exams start, you will be extremely confident and you will be sure that you will not make those silly mistakes you make and you lose marks on them. Okay? When you go into the examination hall, there are a few things you must keep in mind. You must not try to open your books just before entering the exam hall, because some student or a friend comes to you and says, have you studied that chapter? And even if you haven't, don't try to cram it, because that is going to make you panicky, and you lose your self-confidence, and you will not be able to perform. What you've learned, and that's it.
True.
Then, after entering the exam hall, before you attempt your paper, most people make the biggest mistake of their life, and that is they do not read the paper properly.
True.
It is one of the most common mistakes students make. They do not utilize the 15-minute reading time properly. Students should read the question paper carefully so that they can organize their thoughts and manage their time well through the exam. Then, time management is equally important
Ma'am,
is the board exam.
ma'am,
Yeah.
just hold on. Your voice is breaking again. Right, just keep a pause.
Okay.
Yeah,
Now can
yeah,
you hear me?
yeah, better.
Okay. Time management is equally important to ace the board exam. Otherwise, you will find yourself struggling to complete the paper. That might create anxiety and panic towards the last few minutes of the exam. While writing the paper, students should stick to the word limit and time limit they allocate for attempting questions of different weightage. The papers usually spread into these categories: very short answers, short answers to, and long answers. Plan in advance how much time you will dedicate to each question and category, and stick to it. See, if you don't do that, supposing you are doubtful about one answer, please don't stick to that. Move on. Come back to it later on. But please don't waste time. You should, allocate the just the right amount of time to each question. If you realize and struggle for too long, move on to the next question and return to the answer if you have time. So these are some of the very important tips you need to follow. You cannot become panicky. You cannot overexert yourself. You need to be calm. You need to be balanced. You need to be disciplined, and you need to study in a very systematic way. Now is the time to study smart, not quantity wise, but quality wise. Now you need to now take out all your subjects today, take out the books, take out the syllabus, and check what you have done completely, and you are very sure about it 100%. Say, I'm done, and keep it aside. Take out the topics which you are not sure of. If you have any doubts, go to your teacher, go to your parent, or go to your tutor and get help now. Please remove all doubts, all your issues that you have in any subject currently. Okay? So those things need to be done now. And from today, 7 hours of sleep,
Ma'am, your voice is breaking.
disciplined to complete in 7 hours of sleep, and you need to dedicate yourself totally to studying in a disciplined manner. And you need to divide your time smartly and realize what are your weaknesses and what are your strengths. Your strengths, you should always, bank on them. Do that well. Do it 100%. Score 100% on those things, and the rest you should try and do well, but don't stress yourself out on that. Okay?
Yeah,
Thank you. All the best for your exams.
right, ma'am. Ma'am, these were some great tips. Thank you so much for joining us and helping out with these tips for revision and exam. Uh, thank you so much for being present. These were really great. I'm sure these will help a lot of kids, right? Let's,
You're welcome.
yeah, yeah. Thank you.
Read by children